Good afternoon, Hoops fans. Big Al here on this Tuesday, March 18th, 2025. And we're about to run down the television schedule for the 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. In this video, we'll be looking at the first 4 games and the entire first round. And then early Saturday morning, I'll be back live with a look at the second round schedule in the NCAA tournament. And I'll keep doing these tournament videos until it all wraps up with the national championship game in San Antonio on April 7th. So with that said, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. And here we go. Okay. The first 4 kicks off tonight with a doubleheader. St. Francis of Pennsylvania battles Alabama State. This is the first 4 game in the South region. It's today at 6:40 p.m. Eastern on True TV. Current point spread is Alabama State minus 3.5, and the over/under is set at 138.5. And then the second of the first 4 games after that is a pretty big one. A pair of 11 seeds going at it as North Carolina faces San Diego State. That is tonight at approximately 9:10 p.m. Eastern on True TV, or 30 minutes after the conclusion of St. Francis and Alabama State. North Carolina is favored by 4.5, and the over/under is at 142.5. So those are the 2 games in the first 4 for tonight. Let's jump over to tomorrow, where you'll have a pair of 16 seeds doing battle as Mount St. Mary's takes on American University. This is in the East region. This is on Wednesday at 6:40 p.m. Eastern on True TV. American University is favored by 2.5, and the over/under is at 129.5. The nightcap will be 11 seed Xavier, and 11 seed Texas. This is out of the Midwest region. And that is at approximately 9:10 p.m. Eastern time on Wednesday, or 30 minutes at the conclusion of the first game. And this will be televised on True TV as well. Xavier is favored by 3.5, and the over/under is set at 149.5. And now we can turn our attention to the first round of the NCAA tournament. You'll have 16 games on Thursday and 16 games on Friday. The opening round tips off with the South region and 9th-seeded Creighton facing off against 8th-seeded Louisville. That game is on Thursday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern on CBS from Lexington. Louisville is favored by 2.5, and the over/under is 145.5. The next game up is at 12:40 p.m. Eastern on True TV. It's the first round matchup in the Midwest region, pitting 13-seeded High Point and 4-seed Purdue. The Boilermakers are favored by 8.5, and the over/under is at 153.5. And then nearly an hour later, you'll have 14-seed Montana and 3-seed Wisconsin in the East region. This is going down in Denver. And that's at 1:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT. The Badgers are favored by 17.5. The over/under is at 152.5. And then to round up the early afternoon portion of games, you'll have 16-seeded SIU Edwardsville facing off against the top seed in the Midwest region, and that's the Houston Cougars. And this is in Wichita, Kansas. And that's at 2 p.m. Eastern on TBS. Current point spread is Houston minus 28.5, and the over-under is at 125.5. By the way, the High Point Purdue game is being played in Providence. I forgot to mention that. The second wave of games starts at 2:50 p.m. Eastern on CBS, with Auburn facing the winner of one of the play-in games. And again, that is at 2:50 p.m. Eastern on CBS from Rupp Arena in Lexington. There is no point spread at the present time for this game. At 3:15 p.m. Eastern on True TV, you have 12-seed McNeese and 5-seed Clemson in the Midwest region from Providence. Clemson is favored by 7.5, and the over-under is 133.5. At 4:05 p.m. Eastern on TNT, we go to the East region with 11-seeded VCU taking on number 6 BYU. The Cougars are favored by 2.5, and the over-under is 146.5. And then the last game of the afternoon session is at 4:35 p.m. Eastern on TBS from Wichita, as 9-seed Gonzaga battles, or rather 9-seed Georgia battles 8-seed Gonzaga. This is out the Midwest region, and they're playing in Wichita. Current point spread is Gonzaga minus 5.5. Over-under is 150.5. VCU and BYU will be playing in Denver. Again, I forgot to mention that. Well, I'm sorry about that. Okay, moving on to the evening portion on Thursday. We'll start in the Midwest region as 15-seed Wofford battles number 2 Tennessee. And this is the first of the evening games at 6:50 p.m. Eastern on TNT from Rupp Arena in Lexington. Current spread is Tennessee minus 18.5. Over-under is 133.5. Then you've got 10-seed Arkansas and 7-seed Kansas from the West region. This is taking place in Providence. That's at 7:10 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Current point spread is Kansas minus 4.5, and the over-under is 145.5. Then at 7:25 p.m. Eastern on TBS, we have a South region matchup between 13-seed Yale and number 4 Texas A&M from Ball Arena in Denver. A&M is favored by 7.5, and the over-under is 140.5. All right. The next game up is at 7:35 Eastern Time on True TV from the West region. 11-seeded Drake takes on number 6 Missouri from Wichita. Missouri is favored by 6.5, and the over-under is 132.5. And then the final 4 games on Thursday start at 9:25 p.m. Eastern on TNT, with 10-seed Utah State and 7-seed UCLA out of the Midwest region playing in Lexington. UCLA is favored by 5.5, and the over-under is 144.5. Then at 9:45 p.m. Eastern on CBS, you have Omaha and St. John's. This is from the West region, and they're playing in Providence. St. John's is favored by 18.5, and the over-under is 147.5. At 10 p.m. Eastern on TBS, out of the South region, you have 12th seed UC San Diego and number 5 Michigan. This is at Ball Arena in Denver. Michigan is favored by 2.5, and the over-under is 142.5. And the final game on Thursday night is out of the West region. 14th seed UNC Wilmington battles number 3 Texas Tech at 10:10 p.m. Eastern on True TV from Wichita. Current spread is Texas Tech minus 15.5, and the over-under is at 143.5. So those are the first round games that will take place on Thursday. Now let's jump over to Friday and look at the first round schedule there. Okay, the day starts at 12:15 p.m. Eastern on CBS with the 9-8 matchup in the East region between Baylor and Mississippi State. This is at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. Mississippi State is a slight 1.5 point favorite. The over-under is 144.5. Then at 12:40 p.m. Eastern on True TV, you have Robert Morris and Alabama in the 2 versus 15 matchup in the East region from Cleveland. Alabama is a huge favorite in this game at minus 23.5. The over-under is 165.5. At 1:30 p.m. Eastern on TNT, you got the 3-14 matchup from the South region between Lipscomb and Iowa State. And this is in Milwaukee at the Pfizer Forum. Iowa State's favored by 14.5. Over-under is 143.5. The last of the early afternoon games is at 2 p.m. Eastern on TBS. It's the 5-12 matchup in the West as Colorado State faces off against Memphis from Seattle. Current spread is Colorado State minus 2.5. Over-under is 147.5. Now to the late afternoon portion of the schedule. It all starts at 2:50 p.m. Eastern on CBS, as Duke will play the winner of a first 4 game playing on Wednesday. And this is going to be the 1-16 matchup in the East. And that's in Raleigh. There is no point spread for this game. At 3:15 p.m. Eastern on True TV, you have the 7-10 matchup from the East between Vanderbilt and St. Mary's. And this is in Cleveland. St. Mary's is favored by 3.5. Over-under is 136.5. At 4:05 Eastern on TNT, you have the 6-11 matchup in the South region. Ole Miss is the 6th seed, and they'll face the winner of the last play-in game, and they will become the 11th seed in the South, and this game will be played in Milwaukee. Then at 4:35 p.m. Eastern on TBS, you have the West Region's 4-13 matchup between Grand Canyon University and Maryland. And that's at Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. Maryland's favored by 10.5, and the over-under is 150.5. So that's the afternoon portion of Friday's schedule. Let's jump ahead to the evening portion. It starts at 6:50 p.m. Eastern on TNT in the West region as 16 seed Norfolk State battles number 1 Florida. And this will be taking place in Raleigh. Point spread is Florida minus 28.5, and the over-under is 153.5. Then at 7:10 p.m. Eastern on CBS, it's the 3-14 matchup from the Midwest as Troy faces off with Kentucky from Milwaukee. Current point spread is Kentucky minus 10.5. Over-under is 152.5. Then at 7:25 p.m. Eastern on TBS, it's the 7-10 matchup from the South as New Mexico squares off with Marquette from Cleveland. Marquette's favored by 3.5. Over-under is 153.5. And then at 7:35 Eastern on True TV, You have the 4 versus 13 in the East as Akron battles Arizona, and this is in Seattle. Current spread is the Wildcats minus 13.5. Over under is 166.5. And then the late night portion of the schedule begins at 9:25 p.m. Eastern on TNT, with the 8-9 matchup in the West as the 9 seed Oklahoma Sooners battle the 2-time reigning national champions, the 8 seed Yukon Huskies. And this is in Raleigh. Point spread is Connecticut minus 4.5. Over under is 147.5. At 9:45 p.m. Eastern on CBS, Illinois will face the winner of another play-in game, and that winner will become the number 11 seed in the Midwest. And this is in Milwaukee. No point spread available yet. At 10 p.m. Eastern on TBS, you have the 2 versus 15 matchup in the South region as 15 seed Bryant battles 2 seed Michigan State from Cleveland. Michigan State is favored by 18.5. Over under is 152.5. And the final game of the first round tips off at 10:10 p.m. Eastern on True TV as 12 seed Liberty faces off with 5 seed Oregon in the East region from Climate Pledge Arena in Seattle. Current point spread is Oregon minus 7.5, and the over-under is at 139.5. So there you have it. The television schedule for the first 4 games and the entire first round of the 2025 Men's NCAA Basketball Tournament. And we will have another look at the schedule for the second round, and we'll do that early on Saturday, so make sure you join me. In the meantime, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell and get notified every time I go live. Big Al signing off. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the madness. Peace out.